days where the Giant starts out, crushes them first half, and then it's a case of the sleeping Giant in the second half, where Gambit in this case was trying to get as many punches in as they could while they were asleep, but the guys from SK seemed to keep one eye open in the end, as Fallen and coldzera somehow still managed to do it as they always have. I don't know how Dren didn't spot him last round. They always seem to find a way. So just the whole game seemed like Gambit was one step behind, but it was cool to see Fitch and them stay composed in the end there. But definitely tough to close out versus a team like this.
And I'm glad you brought up that name, Fitch. We highlighted him before the match. You know,
yeah.
Moses was laughing backstage when I stuck my neck out for him, saying that he's developing quite nicely. Had a rotten first half.
I mean, for Moses, it's not a very long neck that he needs to stick out, so not too big of an issue. But I think, unfortunately, this is one of those games where, you know, SK just has such a huge lead in the first half that switching over to the second half, eventually they managed to do so in a 2v4 nonetheless. So SK, unsurprisingly, made it into the Legend stage. Maybe, you know, not as dominant as we would have expected, but doesn't really matter. They always get the job done.
Yeah, on overpass that map, isn't it crazy how many times Fur just is on his own and somehow manages to do like 1.5 kills essentially to people? So many rounds there where I just felt like Gambit had a decent game plan. They were just kind of getting torn apart down to the bone. So it's a tough uphill battle.
Yeah, so Gambit go 2-2. SK Gaming will indeed be at Boston. And if you thought that was the end of the great CS that we've got for you today, you'd be wrong, because Fnatic are about to take on Na'Vi. So Smixed talked to JW, one of the most decorated players in CSGO history.
Hey JW, we're at the final day here of the new Legend stage, and Fnatic currently sits at 2-1. First, I wanted to ask you, how impactful do you think the core team of you, Flusha and Crims' experience as major champions is helping Golden, because it is his first major?
I think it helps them a lot, because so far we haven't seen any kind of nerves affecting them or anything like that. Like we help them stay calm, because to us it's like another day at the office, basically. So, yeah, I think it helps them a lot.
That's really great to hear. And throughout this week, we've already seen some eliminations happen. Notably, 4 Legends are gone, and Virtus Pro, Astralis, as well as others. So, are you surprised by any of these results or no?
I mean, I would lie if I said I'm not surprised, but at the same time, I just feel it's 2018. It's the new changes that are happening, I would say, and I think the biggest surprise, or the only surprise to me, was like Astralis, maybe a little bit of North, but at the same time, I feel like it was just time for them that it happened something like this, because they were really rising back when they had Kirby. And then when they lost him, they were still good, but they were never really contenders, I would say. But now, I think they might do changes or wake up or whatever, but I think this might help them become real contenders. Because sometimes you need these cold showers to wake up.
Well, now with Denmark, maybe we can see the Swedish team rise up. Up next, you have Na'Vi if you want to become legends once again. So what do you think of their team and how they've been doing so far?
I think they're a good draw for us. It's another good test. It's hard to say how good their run have been so far, because they played Liquid with a stand-in, and they also played, I don't remember who they played actually. But yeah, I think it's a good test for us, basically. They have lots of raw skill, and it's something we need to be tested against a team that plays mostly on raw skill, similar like FaZe.
Well, you guys definitely looked great yesterday, so good luck today, and we'll see how it goes.
Thank you.
Something more at stake, Jesper. Obviously, with all the Danes out. Swedish CS can be back on the map, Janko. You're looking at me like that.
Maybe,
this is the team to do it.
Maybe it's a turn of the tide, Richard, and I definitely think Fnatic has been on the rise for a while now.
Yeah.
As we were mentioning, you know, their end of the year 2 playoffs exit, but both times losing to FaZe. You know, we didn't get to see them against a slightly weaker opponent, but still a very good team. So it was very difficult to gauge where they are. A lot of teams would get crushed by FaZe in a best-of-3 series. So I think we've definitely seen in this tournament clear.
That's kind of pulling all of the pieces together is Golden. And this is the first time he's been at a major. For those who don't know, he came through the academy team. He wasn't probably ever supposed to be in this lineup with everything that was happening in the Swedish scene, all the carnage, you know, via the way of Godsent and everything else. Got his chance to be an in-game leader of the real Fnatic team, the one with the legends in, and he's been transforming them.
Yeah, it's been really cool to watch him. I actually think this match is going to be a little bit of a bloodbath here. Both teams with their current rosters. I don't know, even Crims, I see him playing more aggressive than Electronic and Simple, obviously going to be taking their kind of game style into this. But I don't know, I feel like both their matches so far actually have little asterisks near them. I mean, Fnatic did get big wins, but Astralis hasn't looked like themselves, and obviously neither Virtus Pro. And on the other hand, Na'Vi suffered a weird loss, but also started showing signs of
life.
Life in general. So I think this is going to be quite the bloodbath, and I think whichever team comes out first just a little bit more confident is honestly going to be the winner.
Well, we'll take a look at that Na'Vi lineup, and they've been growing in confidence. We've heard from Simple in a couple of interviews, you know, but everyone's been starting to pull their weight. Flamey's had some good performances. Electronics had some great performances, and Zeus and Edward are doing what you'd probably expect of the veterans, which, you know, that's all that needs to happen for this Na'Vi team to be successful.
True, and I think the problem with Na'Vi is, okay, obviously some tough losses, but even in their wins, when you look at how they win, it's their individual players going off, right? Not just Simple, but both Flamey and Electronic have been playing really well. We don't see those, you know, mad T-sides, super methodical, super coordinated, where they're just a step ahead of their opponents, you know, and that's a worrying sign, because that's why Zeus is there. That's what his role is, to make the team play much better together, and right now they're looking more like, you know, Fnatic of all, where it's just individuals. If they step up, they win games, or G2 over the majority of last year, right?
Yeah, I say confidence in more of a general sense, but I think, and I'm speaking more in terms of game plan, Zeus is someone who could definitely help you develop just that, and so depending on the map here, I think Zeus, just even giving them a good first 5 rounds plan, I actually like the fact that they're not like they used to be when they had Starix and the old Na'Vi concept of the slow and methodical execute at 30 seconds. I don't think their players necessarily want that. I think they definitely need that gear, but Zeus influencing even 5-6 rounds, I think, is enough for him to take this team where they need to be. So I'm actually kind of excited to where they're going. Hopefully Zeus can get a grip on that and control the ship.
Well, Yanko, quick question before the veto. What would you say is Na'Vi's best map?
Train.
Okay. So, this veto is a bit of a mystery, because you can see here, sure, Fnatic did take away that train, but initially in the bans, they've got Mirage out, they've got Cash, and they were left with Cobblestone and Inferno. Na'Vi have gone for that Inferno, which I feel is one of Fnatic's kind of better maps right now. They've been playing it quite a bit, and they're going to start on that T side, so this is interesting.
Why in God's name did Na'Vi veto? Okay, that was fine. I was looking at it, I was like,
yeah,
why would Na'Vi veto Nuke? But yeah, in this particular veto, Fnatic, you know, gets rid of Train, gets rid of Overpass, Nuke, because that's their permaban. But
sure,
it is weird to see Na'Vi go for Inferno over Cobblestone at the very end, right? Yes, they have been shaky with this lineup on the map, but you do consider Inferno maybe even Fnatic's best map, and when you look at some of Na'Vi's performances on the map on that T side, again, not really, you know, just based off of getting picks or getting some kills late round with contact plays. So interesting to see Fnatic picking T side. That's a sign of confidence, wanting to kick things off. They're going to be the ones dictating the pace of the game, so we'll see how that goes for them.
Yeah, and Jordan, your reactions to that veto?
This is kind of a hard thing for me, because I feel like Fnatic used to be so iconic on Inferno, but last time when I watched them play versus Virtus Pro the other day, even though they won convincingly, they made a lot of sketchy plays through smokes, and I think maybe versus you know, the old guys at VP, not to associate them, just the guys, they're focused so much on maybe fundamentals that they started getting caught off guard. I feel like Na'Vi's a little bit more up to date, and I feel like that's going to give actually them the edge here, and those same plays won't work. I think VP wasn't taking banana control from Fnatic. They were letting them have map control, and I think the fact that Na'Vi's not going to let them do that is going to make this a completely different match than they've seen so far in Inferno this tournament. So I'm pretty confident in Na'Vi in this game.
So you've got Na'Vi, Yanko?
I'm going with Fnatic here. I think it's very important to realize, you know, you need to neutralize Simple with the op towards that banana area. So I want to see Fnatic with utility-heavy play, you know, chase him off and maybe then go into a full execute towards B, not just rely on winning some duels. But
I love when we disagree.
Yeah, I think Fnatic is the more complete team at the moment. Simple's interview yesterday, I believe, talking about we're practicing not just for this tournament, but for the future. That really doesn't give you a lot of confidence that they're prepared well enough. So, yeah, I'm going with Fnatic.
Well, go on.
No, I agree, but I guess for the sake of just talking back and forth, on a map like Inferno, obviously without big preparation, that could be a problem, but I feel like someone like Simple could, I don't know how much prep he even, you know what I'm saying? Like on a place like Banana, if he has an AWP, how much prep or teamwork do they need? If they get going early on CT side, I feel like they can get an 11-4 with the roster just being formed with these guys. So I know what you're saying, but I think if Na'Vi can play this right and control Banana, Fnatic's not going to get those opportunities. So your point's just as valid as mine, and I think it's going to be exciting to see where it goes.
Looking forward to see how it pans out. We are going to go to a quick break before we start the game, but then it's going to be Fnatic versus Na'Vi for a place in Boston. So make sure you join us.
We are back here at the Boost Mobile casting desk, and it's time for Fnatic to step up versus Na'Vi. Both teams in black and yellow. Which one do you prefer?
I think Fnatic, for me, just because Na'Vi a bit inconsistent, and I think I've
They're
been believing in Fnatic for quite some time. They've been very dangerous, and just a mere prospect that players like Crims have once again rediscovered this incredible performance that we saw from him in 2015 is very encouraging indeed. And Golden, he just is full of surprises, James. An in-game leader that's completely new to in-game leading, and to this level, and to the major, but he's still an absolute beast individually as well.
Yes, we were able to enjoy watching them have a quite a monster performance in the league portion of ECS. So we've been high on them for quite a long time at this point, and they are definitely delivering on land. But can they do so versus the likes of Simple on Inferno? I think Inferno is a good pick for Simple. He's the right kind of player to be explosive on this map, but can his team join him in that? He's been pretty consistent with his output, but the likes of Flamey will have to do the same The match is about to start. Na'Vi will be starting on the CT side. So for those of you in GoTV, absolutely watch Simple as much as you can as far as Na'Vi are concerned. If flamie has a good game, keep an eye on him as well. For fnatic, though, looking at Crims to have another good performance. I think Lekro is one to watch on this map as well. We'll see if JW gets up to his usual tricks, but I would expect more of that on the CT side. For now, it is the pistol. flusha will be the grenade man, everybody else on the server with Kevlar.
Indeed, it's always difficult to understand the best approach, and we're seeing this sort of jump peak from players like Electronic much more as you want to assess, okay, how many players are rushing second mid at the start of the round, and once you get that information, it can really help you understand whether to rotate a player off B. Obviously, fnatic, you can see their direction. They actually hid the players from second mid by going the apartments way, the long way, and this is going to keep 3 players on B. This is massive, because now only 2 can defend for Na'Vi on the site.
Where does the smoke go from flusha? Towards the arch, perhaps. We will soon find out as they split the A side. Are these USPs going to be ready? There are Ts flying all over the place. The CTs have a crossfire, but there's only 1 frag for flamie so far. Has to reload, and they know where he is. He'll get taken down immediately. Indeed, that smoke is towards the arch position, but the bomb's been lost in pit, and that will buy some extra time before the bomb goes down for the CTs to close in on their rotation. And everyone's getting dropped now, leaving Crims alone. 1 versus 2. He's got a good angle, though, for the time being. Zeus down to 16 HP. He can definitely do this. Might not be easy for him, though. He's got to go for the wide pick, surely. Indeed, he does. Zeus over towards the library now. How does Zeus play this correctly, all things considered? 1 mistake, 1 wrong key press, and he will go down. And there it is. 1 versus 1 now. Crims didn't spot Edward. He was right next to Zeus, and Edward is closing the distance, moving to the high ground. They're both tapping with USPs, but it's Edward and Na'Vi to win the pistol round.
That is pretty huge, and considering that the bomb did not get planted, it's a pretty big loss for fnatic. I mean, they're going to be force buying, I would imagine, straight away into the next round, but big chances there from Crims, the player we've seen a lot from, but with the pistols, it's really, really difficult to get that consistency, and Edward would win out the day. Used to have quite a reputation for pistols way back when, but it is a new Na'Vi that we're seeing here now. fnatic, they've got a pretty nice selection of grenades here. Golden is going to be giving up on the Kevlar helmet to have a smoke and 2 flashes. And, initial information spotted out by fnatic, 3 players on Banana, but also for Na'Vi, they'll spot only 1 around that area. And so this is an opportunity for fnatic if they want to explode towards A.
Golden's the only person with flashbangs, though, and he's top mid with the rest of the team, so very difficult to burst through the smoke, which currently stands on the, well, around the boiler position and half of mid. Na'Vi now moving into more passive positions. They realize fnatic could have presence in the apartments, so with the Ts closing the distance, Na'Vi will try to extend it as far as they can, but they've reached the end of the road in that regard. The back of the A site, flamie moving towards the site with Zeus. They are expectant. Smoke on the balcony will buy more time. Edward and Simple on Banana. Edward at the bottom, and flusha may have a look-see once that smoke disappears. Still 40 seconds for fnatic to act.
Very surprising how long they're actually taking with this approach. Perhaps expecting maybe Na'Vi to do something, but they sure as hell aren't going to do anything. Just need to hold their positions at this point. Now they have worked out what's going on. They'll rotate the full force of their 5-men defense, and Electronic still holding on to the pit position. Gets another kill out the UMP. Pistol comes up, but there's not too much they can do to punish him. Electronic still stands there in that pit position. flusha, wild spray, gets absolutely nothing. Only Crims to really get some additional damage at the end. So fnatic doing what they can. Unlucky not to get an additional kill. Electronic on 1 health, but Na'Vi will be very pleased with how they handled that situation, and now we may even see a cheeky mid-rush.
$2,000 average for fnatic. So maybe they can get 1 kill if they have fortune on their side. Expectations must be minimal. Very limited indeed for this team. So let's see what they do. Zeus and flamie top mid. Will they get aggressive? Not overly so. Grenades will be deployed down the to the bottom of mid. And some spotting towards second mid. Some fast info for Na'Vi. Once again, Edward and Simple slowly crawling down Banana behind the smoke. But they've got no more smokes on the CT side, so they need to be careful with what they choose to do. No smokes on banana specifically, I mean. Edward and Simple are out as far as that is concerned.
One of the interesting things about the jump peak there in the balcony is that... Well, hang on, I have to hold that for. We might get some action here from Simple. It looks to go for the push here. Wants some frags. Get traded, though, by Lekro. That's a nice one from Lekro. So he's now getting into the action there, peeking from top mids. And some frags. This is brilliant right now from fnatic. Really eking out as much damage as they possibly can. Just JW left now. And that's quickly going to make the point that if there's continual jump peaking for the first few rounds, like we saw here from Na'Vi, that will condition fnatic to start throwing HEs into that position later on. And that's something that would just burn some money because you've sort of conditioned them to do it. So that's a nice little detail there.
Right then, the buy round for fnatic, and they are slightly short. Golden will be on the Galil, so he can buy full grenades. Often find the IGLs throwing the lion's share of grenades to get their teammates into position. So let's see what fnatic have in mind. We know this team like to set up familiar or similar rounds with different variations towards the end, which can be helpful with fakes and the like. Simple, aggressive to start. Down to 7 HP already. It's going to be hard to activate him now. Edward with a forward play with the MP7. Trying to get value from these SMGs. So far, so good. Gets a nice upgrade as well.
And deep banana smoke. Control there for the time being. Always nice. But there's loads of time for fnatic to wait out the smokes and to pressure additional utility and to perhaps contest this position once again. Re-smoke there. JW saw the trajectory, so you can see that's why he's spraying here, because he's anticipating Edward to jump out the position. Ooh, nice tag there. Flusher, Edward down to 30. And if we consider that Simple, also a B player, is on 7 HP, the B defense looks rather flimsy at this point.
It's really hard for Simple to hold around banana with how low he is, but with the clock running down, moving into the site, life will be slightly easier unless Molotovs come his way. Maybe fortunately for him, it seems the push is focused on the A site for now. Still 3 smokes around the A site though, so this may be slow and laborious from the T side. Flusher fighting around the arch position, sorry, Flamey and Flusher. And Flamey gets the better of him, so it's going to be hard to push this arch area. And this is where the bomb is, the flashbangs are here. They're forced away, 24 seconds, and they have re-aggressed. But where will they go? Walking around the smoke. Library's been smoked off, but there are still 2 CTs on A and a crossfire to deal with.
And they go, ooh, nice, Lekro. That is a big frag there, hard one to get. Now Crims in action with the follow-ups. 2 for him. As now Edward and Simple want to come in from B, but again, as we noted at the beginning of the round, their health is very low. Against these AKs, they are going to melt as they get very quick shots here. But it's fnatic with all the advantages on the peaks now, as Edward doesn't know exactly where they could possibly be. There's the peak. Well, actually, no, just the penetration there from JW through the crate. And Simple knows there's just no chance here with 7 points of health. So he'll have to back away with this one. Save the AWP into the next round and see what he can do with it there. But it's a very good time for the fnatic side to get around on the board, as the money for Na'Vi is not really built up all that much just yet.
So fnatic are the team closer to us. So when they are successful, you may hear some shouting. Interestingly, the shouting is in English, not Swedish. Let's go, boys, is the call. That's pretty cool. It's pretty funky. Too much FPL, perhaps, but here we are. Na'Vi back on the buy. Simple still has the AWP. Dropping for a teammate before he picks his gun up once again. Has he learned his lesson from his previous peek towards the old car position? Will he expect to get naded again? Will he have a more passive angle? Let's find out. Edward and Simple flashed off immediately. Edward behind the wall, and there it is. Flusher with the MAC-10. There are 2 more CTs here, though. And he knows Simple could be around the corner.
Ooh.
And he backs off too much, unfortunately for him.
Oh, no.
He will fall to the flames.
Oh, why has he done that, James? Oh, no.
In the moment. So it can be a strong angle for an AWPer to stand on the stairs of the site to get a shot on a T pushing, which is why he threw that Molotov off the wall, for those wondering. 2 CTs per site now. Minute 10 for fnatic to play with.
JW starting to press towards Arch. We'll be looking to see what's going on there. It's actually free. You can see that Na'Vi is split up 2 to a bomb side. This is the default reaction from a CT side. And it's very hard to defend A because the players are much more split up than on B. So it's usually the more optimal place to attack if you're the T side, and that's what fnatic are doing in this case. GW darting through the smoke here, looking for the rotation from CT spawn as well as getting a new angle. Now, can't see anything just yet. Rotation is coming in though. Be really cautious here. So Simple's not convinced just yet, but now he starts to move. And JW in that library position could really be very devastating. Oh, doesn't get the kill onto Zeus. Maybe Simple can get into the action now. Oh my god, great defense coming in from the likes of Zeus and Electronic, and indeed, Simple activated at the end. And Na'Vi, wow, they really held their nerve there.
Yeah, that was really awkward. And as awkward as fnatic made it, there was still the crossfire to deal with on the site. And here you see Flusher backing off, just didn't see it behind him, and all too late, flying towards the pig on the wall. Golden was blind at the end there, and then a Simple at the very, very end to deliver a kill. Just a reminder that he is lurking. Should they want to greet him later on, I'm sure he will welcome them with open arms.
One thing fnatic are looking for here is just some picks. They got the Deagles, there's 2 Deagles, Golden and Lekro. Both very good Deagle players, Lekro in particular, known for it. And so it's just about getting some damage in, just keep the economy honest of Na'Vi. We can see they don't really have any money at the moment, so if they were to lose any players, this would be quite devastating, and there's 1 gone. Simple, looking confident to take the battles here. Ooh, the USP comes out, draws the gun. Pistol, that is, and it's finished by Flamey. Lekro just chilling, looking for any eco-hungry players, frag-hungry players that could be going for a fast flank, but there are none.
They'll just wait him out. No need to look for this player. Na'Vi have the bomb, Na'Vi have position. There's nowhere for Lekro to go, apart from into the crosshair of one of these players, and will be his use. So patience pays off and limits variance for Na'Vi towards the end of that round. But it was a pistol round, it was a money-making round for Na'Vi, and now fnatic are on the buy once again. Grenades, however, will be limited unless Golden opts for Galil once more on 42.50, so we may see a fast round from fnatic. They've had some success when they've had good spawns, flashing the top of Banana. Again, you bounce it off the wall behind the sandbags, pretty much flashes everywhere apart from the car position, which we've seen Na'Vi don't really want to go to after the grenades for the first buy round. Simple towards top mid now, changing the position, and it's Flamey and Edward towards Banana. But fnatic are charging towards top mid. Big damage being done, but no frags yet.
Oh, but look at the counter grenades, massive damage indeed. And Na'Vi are really doing a good job at backpedaling at the right moment to be safe against this. Here come more counter grenades. fnatic need to reconsider what they can do here because Na'Vi are too well prepared. They got good warning of this, and they are not letting up on this bomb site anytime soon. There's all of the members of Na'Vi in position to defend here. Edward will be eliminated, but as you can see, Na'Vi are going to have to work out that this is going to be a very big rotation very quickly as fnatic lead the charge up to the Banana. They may have a good timing here. If they can smoke off CT, they could perhaps make something happen here.
Flamey's got no flashbangs, nothing, no grenades, nothing to slow them down, but he does have position. There's a minute on the clock here, so no need to go for a really fast plant, but the frags are coming in, mostly for the CT side. This is looking pretty monstrous from Na'Vi. Maybe they're turning into the team where you never know when they're just going to turn it on and light up the scoreboard. But that might be now. Once again, fnatic on the pistols, struggling at the moment. They haven't had a single bomb plant apart from in the round they won. After this round, they'll get $2,900 for losing the round without a plant. But first, there'll be a timeout to discuss what is going wrong.
No English now for us, James. Can't really understand what Jumpy's saying. It is funny though, listening to Swedish players. Sometimes you'll just hear random English words in a sentence when they're talking amongst themselves. But it is going to be interesting to see how fnatic decide to progress here, where they see perhaps the weaknesses of the Na'Vi defense. Again, so far, Na'Vi have been very solid, and this is one of the things about Inferno. You know, they were saying on the desk that you're running into fnatic's best map. But in many cases, a team as seasoned as Na'Vi, Inferno,
oh boy,
basics,
that's a PR disaster. Somebody get that man a mixed race baby to kiss on camera.
The basics of this map are pretty well known, and so Na'Vi can just play autopilot on the CT side and make it look really good. And that's exactly what's happening at the moment. So let's see what the Deagles can do again. It's just about getting some damage. There's a peek, a safe peek from Zeus, knowing for sure they won't have any grenades to pre-nade him with. Ooh, there we go. Ooh, Flusher! Ooh, what is going on? Everyone's... It's like Flusher did enough damage to Edward so that he would suicide there. I'm not sure exactly how he died.
Lekro gets bonus cash as well because of the suicide of Edward. That was a recent addition for disconnects and so on.
Thank you, Valve.
I don't really have an opinion on that thing. I don't know what I think of it. I have no opinion. Anyway, Crims, never mind. Never mind, on to the next one. 7-1 in favour of Na'Vi, and again, the Let's Go Boys, the English chance for the Swedish team.
Boom. They need, this was almost, reminded me of Shox's play when he just waltzed up Banana with a Deagle. 2 bullets later, they've won the round. G2, of course, earlier, G2 looking in dominant form. Fnatic need to summon something like that because they are really struggling right now. We won't see an AWP from JW, just all AKs. Some teams do indeed get their dedicated AWP to run the AWP, but there are a lot of teams that don't. On the T side of Inferno, it's hard to get that AWP working.
Fnatic, early possession of Banana. Electronic rotating towards B. Interestingly, he runs not through Speedway, but the long way round to not give any sound cues away if somebody is top mid. Top of Banana. I can't think of any other reason why he would take the long route, unless he was throwing a pop flash, but still. 7-1. Na'Vi looking to compound the problems that Fnatic currently suffer here on Inferno. 3 players on Banana for Fnatic. Flusher by the tree. From a tree position, you can offer one smoke from a wall of smoke. Golden pushing through with a flashbang, opening things up onto Edward.
But look at the problem here. The angle held by Simple. He's got the Molotov there. He didn't act. He's going to go down. Nice flick shot to finish things off from Simple. A quick flashbang to deter any trade fragging opportunities as the full rotation comes from the Na'Vi defense. 4 players soon to stand to defend this bomb site. Electronic with a very nice smoke to play with there. Going around it, and everyone is so flashed. This is getting really awkward here for the Fnatic side. Surely there's no way in, but they find a frag onto Flamey. This is getting so weird. All the grenades still there. They've left one player in position. Letcrow, as they go for the rotation towards A. It's just Zeus on the A side. He's perhaps realized what's happened, but Letcrow can still sell the lie. The bomb is on A now. Zeus not in the best of positions. Caught with a nade out. This could be very bad for Zeus, and indeed, Fnatic. How on earth? Please explain to me, James, how did they turn this round into a 3v1 with the bomb down on A? That is insane.
You've got to be brave to make rotations like that. If Electronic can hold on to this AWP, then there will be quite a reasonable to goodbye for Na'Vi in the next round. An opportunity will be there for them to go, say, 11-1. Electronic scopes past the angle, and JW pressing the E button, having to press the G button to pick up the AWP in the end. Always frustrating when it happens. But he's got what he wanted, finally, an AWP. Haven't really been in a position to buy one in many of these rounds, but one will be stolen away. And there is the rebuy from Na'Vi. Didn't manage to save the AWP, but they've got one anyway. But their money is being drained. Perhaps they will change their approach on the CT side. Or maybe offer something funky. Coach is talking behind the players at the moment.
That's interesting. I feel like Na'Vi, their basics have just been really, really good. Like, they haven't, it's rare that they concede much in the early round. They're doing pretty well, using their utility to, gain map control in the positions where you need it. They've got a decent amount of mix-ups there towards Banana as well. It honestly just seems like a really big struggle for Fnatic to make something work. We had to see a very, very in the moment mid-round call there from Fnatic for them to find a round-winning solution. And other than that, we have not really seen much consistency. Well, we haven't seen any consistency from Fnatic's T-side approach. So I feel as though Na'Vi, if they just keep running these fundamentals as well as they have, they're going to be in for a massive half. They're already half, well, they're very close to already a very dominant half.
Well, this is the swing round for both teams because someone's about to be broke. And you don't want it to be your team. So far, so good. Simple, doing what he does, backing off to the site as well. Will Fnatic be brave enough to chase him down? Maybe it's a good idea, maybe it's a bad one. You see Zeus boosted onto the short roof. Golden perhaps waiting for a re-aggression, but Simple's definitely calmed down from those shenanigans in his history at top flight CSGO. More matured player these days. Definitely playing for the team.
Oh, absolutely. It's like night and day, isn't it? Simple's evolution. Now, things start to calm down a little bit, entering the mid-rounds. And fnatic start to make their way towards A. And very passive positions from Na'Vi has them in a spot where they don't really know what's going on, but they're going to rely on the number advantage. But as you say, critical round. The money could be broken for either side. So now the entries should start to go the way of one of these two teams. Pop flash there off the angle. flamie looking for the perfect moment to peek out. There it is. The spray's good there from Zeus and flamie. One more player to go up though. And looks like flamie will evade JW shenanigans. And this has failed massively for fnatic. The worst has happened. Really good presence of mind there from JW just to throw away the AWP.
Yep, just suicides. Doesn't give them a gun to collect. Smart stuff from him. Now, that's a... I mean, this double short play from Na'Vi basically crushes fnatic. They throw the left field setup in one round, they win that round, and that may win them the half. 11-2 is reasonably likely in this situation, maybe even further than that. This is a really good start for Na'Vi. Again, the winner of this match becomes a legend. Goes to Boston. Make sure you bring a coat, perhaps a scarf as well. Maybe even a balaclava.
Oh, there's pistols again for the fnatic side. It's not really been very fun for them so far, has it? I mean, we've seen pistols a bit too often because of the economic woes. Quick pop flash. Fnatic used to have a lot of really awesome pop flashes up mid, but flamie's going to be having a field day. Good for him. Easy clean up for flamie, but Crims has something to say about this. And Electro still lurking with the Deagle, can't count him out.
They've got to move quickly though, fnatic. The longer they take, the more CTs they will be surrounded by, the harder it will be to plant the bomb, and they oh so desperately need to plant that bomb. Their loss bonus has been completely reset. The money sucks. They can buy next round if they get the bomb down, but Electronic is waiting on them. And now, in fact, because they've slowed things down, Na'Vi aren't particularly sure if they're still top mid, if they are at the bottom of mid, if they're making their way towards CT. So there is an opportunity here for fnatic, but now the bomb's been spotted. Simple and Edward start charging towards the A site once again. Electro holding the angle, looking for the repeat, but Electronic is just buying time for his team. And there is the nets. Life becomes difficult for fnatic. Electro doing what he can, but this time there's no highlight reel with the Deagle. There's one pick for Crims. He now might be in a top with a chance of winning the round if he can get onto the site. He's got to make a play here and get the bomb down.
That peak, can't quite find it. Really well done by Electronic. Forced. No, actually not forced out of position. Chris has to go for the committed plant. He's just certainly going to die here. Wow. Electronic, you've got to hand it to him. He played that really well. Like, he managed to survive, but he kept their attention for seemingly forever. So annoying to deal with. And fnatic just unable to really get much out of that situation in the end, unfortunately for them. They need rounds desperately. At least there is some damage, but at this point, Na'Vi are really charging towards a crazy scoreline. We got a Mac 10, we got a Galil. At least there is some utility for fnatic, but what do they have up their sleeves for this?
Flusher on the Mac 10. Everybody has a helmet on Na'Vi, which makes his job difficult, but he has the moving accuracy. If he is allowed to move, if he faces Simple, maybe he won't be. 4 of the 5 players for fnatic now on Banana. Some initial grenades. A smoke towards the construction position. They could choose to wall off the front of the site as well. And it seems it will be the latter, in fact. Bouncing off the roof at the front. They used to make a play into construction with this kind of setup. There's no smoke towards CT at the moment, though, and flamie has the angle. So how do they make it onto the site? They can plant a bomb in this smoke, should they choose to commit, but they're just trapped around the choke points at the moment.
We saw this before, though, and they managed to somehow convert it into a round win. JW, though, playing through the smoke in towards CT. Is that going to make the difference as they start to challenge one by one into Edward? That's not going to be a winning solution. JW now, he was one of the sort of aces in the hole for them in this round, but not if they're all dead. He's sort of going clutch into the site, eventually taking down Edward, spraying around the corner, unable to find the kill onto Flamey, and that's going to be the round there for Na'Vi. Their defense seems impenetrable so far.
I don't know if there was confusion, if there was miscommunication, but I think ideally they want to at least try and plant the bomb in the smoke. But the CT smoke was so delayed from Fnatic, maybe expecting somebody to face. I think perhaps they read that there would be a reaction from Na'Vi, some aggression, a peek, but it wasn't whatever they were looking for. And by the time they start moving into the site, the smokes are gone and they are exposed to multiple angles.
Definitely a very dejected look across the Fnatic players at the moment. JW offering his 2 cents on the situation. Jumpy being very active in these moments of pause.
Don't leave me hanging, bro. Bro, come on, man. There you go.
Na'Vi looking very good at the moment. This is really impressive. I mean, they've been so up and down, it's been impossible to predict them sometimes, but if they can bring this performance and manage to make their way into the playoffs, who the hell knows where they're going to end up? We're not there just yet. Fnatic still with a fighting chance. Although, again, back to the Deagles, back to the Pistols, back to a round in which they perhaps can't win, but at least some damage can be done. But no, Edward shuts that down. Having quite the game so far.
Slowing the approach of Fnatic on these Pistols. Golden with a flash and a smoke grenade. What can he do with it? If they had apartments, which they kind of do, but Electronic is lurking around. Perhaps they could throw a flash over the roof. Never mind, a bomb's been lost. And that's pretty much everything that matters for the time being. Lecro trades and takes it back, but there's only 2 players remaining here for Fnatic.
2 players, 2 Deagles. 1 player, 1 Deagle, and now no players at all. Na'Vi clean it up, looking really confident. Their money's starting to build, so they can really weather any kind of storm. And it really does feel like everything's falling into place for Na'Vi at the moment. Flamey's having a game. Zeus is having a game. Electronic, Edward, Simple. Everybody from Na'Vi, I think you could say, is really doing their job and doing their job very effectively. We're not really seeing any sort of missed performances from that perspective. And it seems like it is very much a collective effort, which is really good when you're looking at a team like Na'Vi, which too often feels like it's about this player going off or that player going off. But right now, it's everybody just doing the work.
It's pretty chill. Everyone's having a good time. 3 players now. Well, sorry, Electronic and Apartments. And 2 players on short for the Na'Vi side. Smoke grenades to delay the tease once again. Being frustrated are Fnatic. Edward is rotating towards the arch position now. He'll be a 4th player. In Simple, they trust. Flusher lurking towards the bomb site in the meantime. Fnatic need to try and push these CTs back. Smoking Boiler, but they will charge around the arch position. Edward's on his own. Flamey could come back and they could have a bait set up here. Edward almost wants to go through the smoke, but it was too deep. His teammate spots somebody in the smoke, comes back out again. Who's going to get the first frag here? It's going to be Na'Vi. Flamey trying to hold down arch, but he gets traded.
Very confident stuff from Flamey despite the trade, and would have wondered what would have happened if Edward have peeked that position, gone through the smoke, but he is still lurking, providing presence. JW walks into Zeus's angle, and there's no trade attempt. It's very slow here. These very spaced out attacks might not work for the Fnatic side, but still they will claim the bomb site, 2v2. And the smoke is now down as well. So another after-plant situation where Fnatic are in with a very solid opportunity. Simple and Edward, the B-men, looking to make this work for Na'Vi.
Simple rotated many moons ago. The B bomb site was abandoned just as Flusher was rotating as well. And you see Flusher is expectant. Edward in Apartments. Will he walk straight into the crosshair? He will! Almost missed by Flusher, but he manages to get the kill ultimately. Simple looking for the trade frag now. He swaps out for an AK-47. The smoke obscures his vision towards the Apartments area, but he gets a frag anyway. Where is Crims? Crims dancing around the box, hiding behind a pillar. Simple has no idea. It is a desperate 3rd round for Fnatic. Only Crims survives.
Right, so that's something. That is something for Fnatic. The bank, though, pretty deep for Na'Vi, deep enough for them to have a buy here. And a double AWP, in fact, they'll be going for. But what is Fnatic going to do to try to get that 4th round? It's a very horrible situation to be in. There's no doubt about that. This is quite wholesome, actually. Simple looking everywhere but exactly where Crims was. UMP, Galil, not too fun. JW has only a flashbang. Not ideal here for Fnatic. Simple's been rather menacing with that AWP in the spots which he's picked. Oh my god, Flusher! Right in the face.
Na'Vi starting with 3 towards the B bomb site. But Zeus has now gone back to the arch position. Lekro, Crims, Golden, frustrated by smoke grenades around the A site for the time being. And again, Flush will be left to lurk in Banana on his own. And this time, Simple is over towards the A site. Maybe the man to avoid, but he doesn't like being avoided, it seems. Looking to greet these players. Simple just wants to say hello. Zeus now just missing JW as it comes through the smoke, but maybe spotted, but it's used to go down. No eyes now towards the arch position. No info towards Banana. fnatic could try to pinch the B bomb site if they wanted to, and that will draw Simple away, leaving Electronic with a lot to do towards the pits.
They're just pausing at the moment, cutting noise. There's a smoke, but what does it mean? Na'Vi asking questions. The tensions are high. Still unsure as to exactly what fnatic are doing. It could be a fake, it could be a double fake, who knows? Right now they're going to go for the gamble. Simple starts the rotation as Flusher leads the way in, but Edward picks off JW. That confirms everything. flamie now laying into them. That's great stuff from flamie from the back of the bomb site with the AWP, and fnatic seem unable to push their way onto the bomb site. flamie again, Edward again, and 12 rounds it will be at the end of the first half for Na'Vi. That is so crushing for the Swedes.
They must feel like they are very close to victory, Na'Vi, very close to making legend status. And I think psychologically, with how inconsistent and up and down they've been recently, that will be a great boost for the side. flamie delivering kills with the AWP towards the B bomb site. And it was a nice read from Na'Vi to send a second player back here in the first place, and boy, did it pay off for them. Everything working for Na'Vi at the moment. And again, that's great for them, but fnatic, they've been so fun to watch so far in this tournament, but now they seem to be struggling. Much will ride on the pistol run, which is soon to come. 3 rounds on the board for the Swedish team.
To be honest, with the games we've seen today, James, it would not surprise me if they make it all the way back to 12-12. Though it all starts here, of course. What do we have for Na'Vi? They have opted for a decent selection of grenades. We have actually 3 flashbangs, 2 smokes. Do we get any P250 dropped? Yes, onto Simple. So Simple's got a P250 in Kevlar. You'd love to see that.
He is the raid boss. Crimson Lekro passing top mid, not choosing to engage, and that is the power of the P250 all the way up mid in the face. Lekro going back out of the apartments now. Flusher coming over towards A, but it's going to be a really hard situation with which to get information. Golden alone towards B. This is a really bad spot for fnatic.
Golden is going to have to go off, isn't he? I mean, he is very good individually, very good with pistols as well. But this is just such a tall order. Golden with the jiggle peek here. How does he play this? Does he commit for frags? Gets the spot. Or does he prioritize staying alive, maintaining position in construction? Well, it looks like a rotation comes in from the likes of Flusher, although for the Na'Vi players will be back into mid, and Flusher's back there as well. So it looks like fnatic are reading this quite well at the moment, but Na'Vi do still have a solid numbers advantage to play with.
Three fnatic players lying in wait. Flusher will surely get a pick before flamie gets anywhere near JW. Oh, there it is. Spotting one player towards short, but is it too late? Lekro on the site, but he's just holding angles. Can he get the second kill here onto Edward? Just dancing around, being a bait now as JW takes him from behind. Lekro with a great headshot there. One player left. fnatic bring it back after the very early pick from Simple. In fact, the only frag there for Na'Vi was at the very beginning. They thought maybe Golden was baiting them into B, and that sent them into the stack.
Can't mess with Lekro's pistols. Ooh, that is lovely, isn't it? I hope to see way more P250s in pistol rounds after the showing we've seen from it lately. It's so good at the moment in the pistol. Now, there's a chance here for fnatic. Build that money. They've opted to get UMPs and FAMASs mostly to maximize the damage they can do with that utility, or the additional stores of utility they can buy. There you go, some early grenades. But I like how Na'Vi actually slowed things down at the beginning. They did not run into those grenades. They allowed them to pass first. effectively playing against that timing of fnatic. Rather, sorry, fnatic. And Na'Vi looks like they just want to explode onto the B-bomb side. Fairly decent choice, but it will rely upon Flamey being able to get a pick, ideally, and they can overwhelm Golden on the sites.
Again, Golden in the same position, spotting for information. Flusher should get more out of that than one kill with no smoke there. Golden trying to do the pop flashes we saw from Liquid. Not quite working out, but he's still got his map control. JW has rotated over. Krim's trying to do the same. Still no smoke towards the CT position. Simple and Edward in the red. They've planted a bomb, though. What more can they get out of this? Might be a question of damage at this point. But they do have dangerous pistols. Edward moving close with the CZ. Down goes JW. That's 2 for 2 from Na'Vi. Still alive now. Finally, Edward gets picked off. The Molotov. Simple might have a slight gap. He's got to gamble. He's got to go through it. But he's blind. You know where he is now. It's confirmed, but the smoke will soon disappear. Lekr on the bomb. Lekr taken down. Krims through the smoke. And fnatic, do they have time? He's got a kit. That is so fortunate for fnatic. 4 players dead, but the round is in the bag.
Surely they force by now. That's an insane amount of damage. How do they do so much damage there? That's really crazy. That should never happen. That's something that should be a bit of a confidence blow to fnatic, because that's a round where you feel quite confident that you can lock it down, play it clean. But the problem was that the B defense was not really that optimal. If you look at the weapons, where the weapons were playing, how they were playing off of each other, it was not really ideal to deal with the kind of push that we saw out of Na'Vi. And fnatic were isolated on that site. Each player got isolated. And now Na'Vi are in a really interesting position. So they're obviously discussing this. They can definitely play around where they drop an AK to somebody, or they could just go all pistols with more utility. That seems to be the call here. Or are they actually half buying? It's such an interesting situation. I really like it, seeing teams in this position. You get the 4 kills, you get the bomb down. The money for them is completely wrecked. They have a good buffer of rounds to play with to take risks. And imagine if they win this round. fnatic are crushed in this game.
Dangerous round for fnatic. You wouldn't have necessarily expected the last one to be so dangerous, and maybe this one's even more so. Lekr in apartments. JW and Krims around the arch position. Krims is rotating now. Banana is secure for the time being. Golden can redeploy a smoke grenade very shortly. Kill as much time as possible. Na'Vi for the most part in apartments and mid for the time being. Electronics still at the bottom of mid, maybe patiently waiting for those smokes to disappear. JW will be the man with eyes towards top mid for the time being. Krims is starting to get curious as well. 1 minute mark, and fnatic don't quite know what Na'Vi might be up to in this round. Flusher has rotated, so there will be 4 on the A sites.
Na'Vi have to get the bomb down if they want to have a buy next round, like a full buy. Like, the bomb has to go down for that to happen. What they've done with their money is a bit strange, but they've actually managed to pulse a rotation. And this is a really fast play now into B. Golden is alone with the UMP and no grenades. If they just push this smoke, if they have the understanding to do that, it's going to be huge and they're going to go through it. They have the CT smokes there as well. Golden is in trouble, but the timing is really key here. 2 players quick there to reinforce Golden's position, as fnatic are going to be in a good position. JW has to pull out the pistol. That's a very clutch shot to keep himself alive, as Golden will go down, but I think he's done enough delay here to potentially allow a good chance for fnatic to recover in this round.
Flusher took a lot of damage through the smoke. This is a winnable round for Na'Vi. The bomb is down. They've got the UMP. 3-man push, and it's a 2-man spray down for Flusher, and that is a round-changing decision. Didn't work out for Na'Vi. Took a gamble. Didn't pay off. Simple. Just waiting. They don't know where he is. He could be new box. He could be in a dark spot. He could be around this corner. Down goes Flusher. Takes a shot straight in the face. He knows no one's on the bomb just yet. He can peek wide and try and take down the bomb diffuser, but no. He'll duel Krims. Krims will win with the M4. And fnatic survive to live another day, only just reaching half the score of their opponent.
Look at how hard every single round is made by Na'Vi. Because they got the bomb down, they have just enough money to have full AKs, full armor, full nades. Had they not got the bomb down, they would have no utility. If they wanted to have AKs as well, there would have had to have been some decisions made there. But because they did, the pressure continues. fnatic never allowed to have any money. fnatic never allowed to have an AWP until eventually they win a clean round somehow. But the round loss bonus is accruing for Na'Vi, and they're getting to the point where they'll have a buy if they get a bomb plant anyway. So, good pre-nades. That's Electronic down straight away. That's a good start for the Fnatic side.
Back to the Stone Age for him.
But they need to do more here. That said, they can play the 5v4. They can play it chill if they would like to. No need to take any big risks at this point.
Still though, they don't necessarily want to allow an execution from their opponent. As that grenade, there's a grenade which lands and blooms much faster than that one that you throw from second mid. That takes an insanely long time to land, so long that you saw Fnatic just push and throw a Molotov top mid. Anyway, Na'Vi are here and they've got plenty of time, so ultimately it matters not. 3 players round the A site for Fnatic. Crims will be key. We've seen him deliver an unusual amount of frags in a very terrible position. And later on, he may need to do the same.
It's very tense for Fnatic. Right now, the utility, they are being burned. Or rather, the utility's been burned away, surely. No, that's a angle for Crims. Oh, wow, he gets the second one as well. That's big there from the Crims, as I should say. The anchor, so commonly, he shows exactly why he's often put in those positions. Now just down to Simple. Can't get much from that, though. Beautiful 2K. That really just completely screwed up the push from Na'Vi. They couldn't split properly after that. And here it is again.
The second kill, so crucial in this situation. Shot through the corner of the wall, manages to survive. Again, an unusual number of frags in an arguably unfavorable position. 7-12. Na'Vi back on the pistols once again with another tactical timeout, perhaps starting to get frustrated.
And one can only imagine. Again, we've seen so many comebacks today. It would only be fitting if we were to see one here as well. Now, this is a new look for Fnatic. They have AKs, they've got all of the grenades, all of the kits, all of the helmets. They are flush with cash, it's looking great. But they need to build on this. And what do we have here? UMP, CZs, MAC-10, a Deagle, a Molotov and a smoke grenade. What a crazy random assortment of items there for Na'Vi.
Pots and pans.
Ooh, dear. Lots of damage.
Yeah, I don't know if that was like a headshot through the wall. If it was, they will know that JW's had his bell rung. They're searching for him. They're seeking him. Oh, Crims gets absolutely annihilated. Huge problems for Fnatic on the A site. Flusher is around the corner towards Arch, but he's got to be careful. These pistols are close. There's a very fast-firing CZ. Lekr at long range takes Zeus down, but there are more players around the library, and Flusher's taken massive heat damage. Lekr still around the pit, running out of bullets here, going down to the pistols, but doing damage, taking frags. The bomb hasn't been planted yet. Simple in the pit now with the bomb. Simple and Edward both in the red, as is Flusher. Do they know? They do now where Flusher is. Simple, does he gamble and try and make a play? Flusher just brazenly walking out, but Simple's ready with the stolen M4. It's a round that Na'Vi were not supposed to win. And look what it's done to the money of Fnatic.
The crazy thing is that, you know, Lekr is playing the pit. I think he could very well have had that frag onto Simple, but I think he's playing for his teammate to actually get the frag, and he's just playing to hide there. And if he realizes that his teammate can't possibly help him in that position, then he may have been able to make something happen. But that's Counter-Strike for you. In the chaos, it's really difficult to figure out what's going on and how to make the best play. And now it's a very weakened Fnatic economy. M4, Mag-7, CZ, FAMAS, handful of grenades, an assortment, and only one kit. At least there's one. It's on Crims at the moment. He is playing quads, or porch, however you like to call it. And only with lots of pressure towards A. Doesn't look like they're interested at all in going towards Banana this round, and that's something that Fnatic may have figured out. I think they just took a deep peek on it, and they'll start to rotate Flusher around to help A, but will it be soon enough?
Crims. Here's the grenades being primed. Spots loads of people on the balcony. They've got problems. That might run distractions. Edward charges in with a frag onto Lekr. But there's another player to find on the site, and it's Crims. Gets one kill, but he's surely running out of bullets. JW, long-range Mag-7. Desperation. Just can't get anything done. 2 on 3. Golden creeping through the smoke as more grenades are deployed by the T side. JW walks into AWP. Golden, the point of no return. Na'Vi popping off now on the other side of the studio. 14-7.
What a massive performance from Na'Vi so far. As you can see, indeed, the winning team will make their way into the playoffs in Boston. And what a result it would be for the likes of Navi, a team that has really just been struggling for so long now, and seemingly so reliant upon their star in Simple. A player that's made so much in the way of a transformation as to how he is as a player, as a human being within his teams, to try to bring Na'Vi into the limelight, into the spotlight in which they have not found themselves in for quite some time. But it could all start here. A very interesting story from Fnatic's point of view as well, but their story will not be over should they lose this match. They will still have a game to play to prove themselves worthy of the playoff spot.
Force buy from Fnatic. Do we save one and play against match point forever? No. We buy now. Pistols, grenades, one defuse kit onto Golden. It has been an absolute struggle for Fnatic in this match. They got the first 4 rounds, but now the drought continues. But they may soon be put out of their misery. Edward and co. charging up Banana, looking for a match point, and they're not far away. Gambles must be taken by Fnatic, and the current gamble is JW maybe going towards B, maybe going towards A, kind of trapped on Speedway for the time being.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be quite difficult, but the Fnatic we know and love is a Fnatic that, with situations like this, they can tend to find something out of nothing. And I say nothing, the CZ is definitely quite something. Necro's got a deagle as well as a couple flashbangs also. All it takes is some good timing and some plays. They're going to make a play towards top Banana to just get some bearing of what's going on here from the Na'Vi side of things. And you can see they see nothing, and they're going to rotate everybody. This is good timing for this rotation.
4 players now on the A side for the CT side. Moving into position. I wonder how much Na'Vi might have heard. They're slowly moving back. I think they heard the players running towards Arch, running onto the site. And now Na'Vi will quietly move away. Crims is around the corner though, sees nobody top mid, but surely there isn't time to rotate. Flusher moving towards short, wondering what's going on. They're finding the information out too late. Fnatic, they're on the wrong side of the site now. Wrong side of the map. Golden taken down, nobody else on B. JW though has managed to make it to construction, but what good will it do at this point? It's a 5 versus 3. Simple and Electronic and Edward have 12 HP between them, but there are still 3 more players, and all 5 have dangerous weapons for Fnatic to deal with. Not the most ideal positions for Fnatic. No flashes, no rifles, no nothing really for Fnatic here. 2 on 4 now. The double peek comes in. Great play from Na'Vi. Flush can still do big damage here, but they won't win the round. And right now, that's all Na'Vi care about.
Absolutely. Great round from Na'Vi. Na'Vi also showing there that in just making some noise, you can cause rotations. You don't need to be, make it too complex. I think some teams, they tend to try to make it very complicated when they want to try and, affect CT rotations. But also, you have to understand the desperation level of your opponents. Fnatic are in a situation where they're incredibly desperate. They have to make the right gamble, so they're going to be running around all over the place on any information that they get. And Na'Vi exploited that massively in that round. Played it really, really well. They're so calm at the moment. And they just have to do that one more time, and they are through to the playoffs.
JW peeking down mid, but again, they're far away, can't really do anything. Smoke top Banana may save Fnatic for the time being. Simple spamming through the wall. Na'Vi entirely focused, even Zeus leading the charge through the smoke with the bomb. So what is the play here from Na'Vi? Making a lot of noise, but it's very early on in this round, minute 20 on the clock for the time being. So Fnatic won't do anything crazy. Necro and Crims both in forward positions in apartments. Now, that could end up being something should Na'Vi come back. But if they don't, then there may be match for Na'Vi.
I like the pressure from Na'Vi. Again, it's something that you see some teams fail to do in this position. Just because you're against pistols and it can be scary, you need to make sure you force out utility. And that's exactly what Na'Vi have done towards Banana. They've forced a lot of smokes out from them, and only one player has a smoke left. It's Lecro, he's obviously on the other side of the map. Misses the Mag 7 shot. That is insane. Usually he's always going to be good for those. And we can see Flamey just playing contact in towards the B-bomb site, and he's going to find Golden. Easy kill for him. Looking very, very strong now for Na'Vi to close this one down. Ooh, Simple almost caught with the bomb there, though.
Yeah, things are getting really awkward. Edward and Crims were fighting on balcony. Now Crims is in CT spawn and Edward is on T ramp. Flusher in the smoke. 15 seconds trying to play the numbers game, but cover was there. One will be planted. 4 versus 1. Crims with 16 HP and an MP9. Na'Vi are well on their way to legend status once again. 3 of the 4 players on the site. They don't know where Crims is. He's managed to sneak in. He's been spotted now. 10 HP taken away and all the rest. Na'Vi make their way to Boston.
We say hello to Na'Vi, a new Na'Vi perhaps. A Na'Vi that could perhaps surprise everyone. They've been working on this for so long, James. We've seen the story go up, we've seen the story go down, we've seen hope, we've seen promises made, we've seen promises broken, we've seen 5 different types of simple. But is this the type of simple, is this the type of team that can make a very deep run once again and reinvigorate the Na'Vi brand and put them back at the top?
After the break, there will be a draw for the matches to come for the teams who are currently 2-2, fighting for their lives. Coming up after the break, some more Counter-Strike. Stay tuned to see who will be facing who.
I got rage every day.